All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to connect the dots on three massive trends that are really shaping 2026. We're talking about the content you create, the capital you protect, and the growth you're searching for. Now, I know they might sound like totally different worlds, but you're about to see how they're all part of one big unfolding story. To really get where we're going, we have to take a quick look back. And well, 2025 was a roller coaster, wasn't it? It was a year just packed with huge economic and geopolitical shifts, the kind of stuff that left a lot of us wondering, okay, what's next? And this quote from Investopedia, it just hits the nail on the head. In 2025, people absolutely flocked to gold in a way we haven't seen in decades. But this wasn't just about gold, you see. It was a signal, a sign of a much bigger search for some kind of stability in a pretty shaky world. And that brings us to the big question for today. With all this uncertainty swirling around, where are the real opportunities hiding? Where can you still find places to create and grow? Well, we've dug in and we're going to break down three key areas for you. First up, let's talk about the digital world. For anyone creating content, whether you're a solo creator or a big brand, the game is changing, and it is changing fast. It's not just about showing up anymore. You need a legit strategy to cut through all that noise. And here's the absolute key to understanding this shift, something Yum Yum Videos pointed out. The old way of thinking, just pumping out more and more content, that's over. The new mindset, it's all about creating strategic, intelligent content that actually gets noticed. So, what does smarter actually look like in practice? Well, this slide breaks it down beautifully. We're seeing AI used not to replace us, but to supercharge creativity. It handles the boring stuff so you can focus on the story. Then there's the hybrid funnel, which is genius. You use short-form video to hook people, then pull them into your longer videos where you build a real community. And faceless documentaries, they're exploding because people crave deep, expert content without all the personality stuff. Finally, edutainment, kind of like what we're doing right here, builds trust by giving people real value. These aren't just theories, they're strategies that are winning right now. So you have creators minting this kind of digital gold online, but at the same exact time, a totally different playbook is being used to protect real gold, real capital in the physical world. It brings up a super interesting question. Where is all that money actually going for safety? And that leads us straight to our second major opportunity. This huge, renewed focus on traditional safe havens. And yeah, you guessed it, one particular precious metal is leading the pack. Just look at that number. According to Investopedia, gold jumped by roughly 65% in 2025. That is not a small bump. That is a massive rally. And it was all fueled by investors scrambling for a reliable place to park their money. And get this, the pros don't think this momentum is slowing down. JP Morgan's research team is actually forecasting that gold could be heading towards $5,000 an ounce by the end of 2026. And that's not just a wild guess. It's a target based on some serious analysis of who's buying. So who is driving all this demand? JP Morgan's data gives us the inside scoop. And it's not just one group. Of course, central banks are buying about 190 tons every quarter. But look at the individual investors, a projected 330 tons a quarter in physical bars and coins alone. It's everyone, from the biggest institutions to everyday people, moving toward this classic safe haven. And this is no short-term fad. Just look at the long-term picture in a huge market like India. Data from ClearTax shows this incredible climb over decades. But this isn't just an investment chart. For millions of people, this represents a multi-generational store of wealth. It's a financial anchor through decades of change, and it proves exactly why people turn to it when times get tough. Okay, this is the perfect moment to pivot. We've talked about creating value with content and protecting capital with safe havens. But what about pure, high-octane growth? Where on earth do we find that right now? Well, according to a whole lot of analysts, the answer is in emerging markets. And there's a particularly bright spotlight shining on India's booming economy and its stock market. All right, let's get into the specifics. ICICI Direct has pinpointed several key companies they believe are set for some serious growth. You've got strong potential in banking and finance, names like Bank of Baroda and Bajaj Finance, and then in core infrastructure, you see telecom with Bharti Airtel and cement with Dalmia Bharat, which has a potential upside of over 30%. This just shows the growth is happening across different vital parts of the economy. And here is the big picture number. ICICI Direct is projecting that India's main stock index, the Nifty, could hit 29,500 in 2026. That reflects some serious confidence in where the country is headed economically. So, what's actually powering this whole growth engine? Well, this chart gives us a look under the hood. And you can see it's not just one thing. You've got strong growth in banking, a big comeback in capital goods, solid performance from telecom, and a renewed push in IT. It's what you call a diversified growth story.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground, from YouTube strategies to gold bars to the Indian stock market. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's really about adopting a strategic, forward-looking mindset as we head into 2026.
It really boils down to these three simple, powerful ideas. Number one, innovate your content. In this digital world, you gotta post smarter, not just more often. Number two, diversify your assets. In an uncertain world, it makes sense to consider the role of traditional safe havens. And number three, look for global growth. In a world that's always shifting, find those high-potential emerging markets that are really breaking out.
So there you have it. We've explored the new creator playbook, the big rush into safe havens, and the incredible ascent of India's market. Three powerful, distinct trends shaping the year ahead. So the question I want to leave you with is this: which one of these are you going to be watching most closely?